Welcome to Day One Patch. This is episode 55. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Got a full cast again this week.
Recast?
Crew.
Panel?
The crew?
Co-workers.
Colleagues.
Acquaintances, friends.
Co-workers suggest
colleagues.
salaries. We do not have
Okay.
salaries. In fact, we're in the negative.
Volunteers.
Volunteers.
I do that a lot. Too much, in fact.
One of our volunteers is Matt Lawrence.
Oh,
PC tech extraordinaire.
good stuff.
I keep saying this like this is like the third week in a
Anchor
row.
for every episode.
Yeah. Marty Isaacs.
Can you make up a cooler title than the one I have? Make me sound
Resident
cooler.
mobile devices entrepreneur. I don't know. I got nothing.
Why? What's your one now?
Resident app editor.
Reviewer.
App editor. Be careful, Apple might sue.
What's the editor? What's that?
It's just you make reviews. I don't know.
Okay.
Adriano Petti, our
What's up?
producer, and
Part-timer.
part-timer. Yeah. We're gonna start off actually first our top stories. So if you keep listening, you will hear stories about Elder Scrolls Online, the Amazon Fire TV, which was just announced, and Ubisoft. They're not going to be abandoning last gen, so we'll get into some of those topics and more later on in the show. But first, what we're playing. Any takers? Volunteers?
Sure.
Go ahead, Matt. Better not be Anno again.
A little bit of Anno this week. A little bit. But I picked up Titanfall this week as well.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Really wanted it for the console, to be honest, but a $10 coupon kind of flew my way for PC. So I picked that up.
But you're having trouble validating your purchases of the next-gen consoles. So I think you should have invested in those next-gen consoles.
I really like the Xbox One, and it's not on PS4. So if it was on PS4, I probably would have kind of leaned more toward that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have 5 to 6 people that have Titanfall on PC that I play with. So that was kind of another thing. But I really enjoy it. No one plays any game modes but attrition, which is basically deathmatch. Or team deathmatch, the team deathmatch, I guess. It runs really well on my PC, at least. You can play it on my laptop and everything. It's actually not as strenuous as you would think, which is nice. You can run it with slightly older hardware, but no lag. Like I know, like my friends were saying that it used a lot of bandwidth and stuff like that. I have like pretty slow internet, and I was actually getting like under 100 ping, which is rare for me, which is nice.
Now, this is pretty amazing coming from an EA game,
Yes.
given their reputation on online games.
100%. But
Yeah.
it's really cool. Like there's like cool things. Like you just think, oh, it's another shooter and whatever, but there's no other shooter where like I've had a couple situations where you like jump out of a mech, jump onto some other one's mech, and then jump off that and run off the building, go and kill a sniper, and then jump onto some other guys. You know, it's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So very, very good new take on shooters, if you will. I could see it being a new sort of Call of Duty-esque.
Well, yeah, shooters have kind of gotten dull, and they're all the same. So this one's kind of trying to do something new.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
Maybe it'll work. But I it's one of the reasons why I want an Xbox One. I don't have one,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to get it for my PC,
Fair enough.
unfortunately. But or last gen. But Marty,
Man, get it for last gen. I'm getting it for last
yeah, I
gen.
know. Yeah, we'll see what the reviews are for the last gen version.
You don't need the reviews. There's going to be more people on it.
Well, what if it doesn't run as well? Because they've taken all this time to actually come out with it. I'm just worried that maybe something's wrong with it.
Got delayed again, right?
A week.
A week.
It's out this... No. 2 Tuesdays from now?
Something like that. Yeah, pretty soon.
Or it depends on whenever this is being listened to or posted.
Marty,
To be honest, I'm feeling uninspired.
oh no.
Yeah. I need one of those games that's going to pick me up and re-spark my love for gaming again. A game that did that previously when I was in a bit of a slump was Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can't tell you how much I love that game. Because I played a bit of Bully and I just kind of stopped. I don't know if it was because it was an old game and it felt a little bit dated.
I find it hard to go, like, I don't play many old games, but when I do actually find one that I want to play, I find it hard to go back to it.
Yeah, so I guess I played the first part of the BioShock DLC, Burial at Sea, which is pretty dang cool. Not lengthy, but I walked around and saw pretty much everything in that game. I wander. I really missed Rapture.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun to go back in there.
I went around every corner. Just,
I had to look at everything.
Yeah.
Hear what everything.
How
everybody had
was
to say.
this Rapture compared to the
Not
previous
too
one?
much different.
except
It's
for
the same layout,
except
or
for
is
the
it
population.
whole new section.
There's
or
people
something?
walking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a section that you wouldn't have seen in the last time,
Yeah,
anyways.
okay.
Like you have famous characters. Sorry to interrupt, Marty.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like famous characters from the previous one.
Mhm.
Cohen.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
go to like a Sander Cohen
Yeah.
event.
So you go see his theater that's constantly talked about, but you never actually see.
Okay.
Which is pretty badass. I love that part.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The rest of the game, you're in like an unpopulated area that's more familiar to the first game. It's kind of run down and stuff.
It was Frank Fontaine's one of his department stores that Andrew Ryan annexed and set up as a prison.
Okay.
So you get like sent there, and then you have to then there's like a bunch of splicers there. So it was like what Rapture was before the rest of Rapture became that.
Okay. Cool.
There are also some aspects of Infinite that carry over.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sky hook thingies. What do they call them? The actual rails in Infinite.
I think they're just
Skylines.
Skylines.
Is it skylines
Or sky rails maybe.
But they call the actual thing an air grabber now. I think it's called.
Yeah.
Instead of the sky, because they're not in the sky, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like in the Rapture universe they were used for moving cargo or something like that. So
Well, they were in Infinite too, weren't they?
they're also used for travel, I think. But
Okay.
they changed the name of it, and it's not. It's like the grabber itself is like a Fontaine made or
Okay.
Andrew
It
Ryan.
looks a lot. I think it looks a lot cooler.
Yeah, has that 1960s look to it.
Yeah, but there's randomly like skylines in Rapture now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I'll probably be playing the second part next week, and I've heard good and bad things about it. So we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Adriano, what are you playing?
I started playing The Cave, but I only played like 20
Refresh me on what the cave is.
Double Fine.
That's right.
You pick 3 out of 7 characters. Each of them has a story to tell, and then it's like there's constantly being narrated from
Is it like the old timey adventure game kind of deals?
like 2D platformer. Yeah.
Oh, that's Double Fine's new game, right?
Not new, latest. I think one of their later
Yeah.
games. Not the.
Their new game's something else. The
Oh,
one with Elijah Wood,
Yeah,
right?
the Elijah Wood and Jack Black's in it. Yeah.
Which one is that?
What
I
is it?
can't remember the name of it
You know
now.
what that one's called, man?
I do not.
It was the Kickstarter one you did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat. It's relaxing, just different from picking up like a AAA title. It's very whimsical.
Mhm.
That's the best way I'm going to describe it. But I only played it like once, 20 minutes, because I've been busy with other shit. So,
Okay.
what are you playing?
I've been hooked on an app, which is surprising. It's a Star Wars app.
Oh, surprise!
Tiny Death Star.
No, I had got my enough tiny games when the first one, the Tiny Tower, came out.
Fair enough.
I played the crap out of that one. So when Tiny Death Star, I was like, oh, this is cool, and I played it for a bit, but then kind of just fell away. But this one I've been playing is called Star Wars Assault Team, and basically you get like cards. Like I have a Han Solo card and a Chewbacca card. And you can even get like Luke and Leia cards and stuff like that, and then just random characters. And then you can level them up with like supplies you find through the missions, and you kind of just go around and you fight stormtroopers and stuff. And depending on like the values of the cards, how much damage they do, and how much health they have. It's really simple. It's kind of addicting, but it's like a free to play game. So there's what do you call them? In-app purchases. Microtransactions. Thank you. Yeah. And it has that energy thing where, like...
The cooldown thing.
Yeah, you had to wait for it to get enough energy. And the funny thing is...
I actually don't mind that.
Yeah, you said that in the past. I find it weird that they say put down the game, but it's all right.
What's it called?
Star Wars Assault Team.
I believe it's the editor's choice right now.
Last week. They just updated the App Store today. Or yesterday.
A couple days before you heard this.
Yeah. But yeah, the funny thing is, it's not like one energy point gives you a match. You need 4 energy points per match.
And how long does it take to regenerate them?
Depends on like how long how many energy points you want. I think it's like 3 minutes or 5 minutes for the 1 energy point, the first one, something like that.
What's that game you play in KOTOR? The little card game you play?
It's not Pizzac.
Pizzac. They should make a Pizzac app.
Oh, it's so funny.
I love
It's
Pizzac.
fantastic. Holy crap.
I stopped playing KOTOR for like a few weeks because I just played Pizzac for like 4 hours straight.
Jesus.
The controllers for the iPhone are expensive, but I want one just so I can play Pizzac on there. You know? Well, I guess I don't need a controller.
No.
I just want to play it nicely. That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Not too many console games, other than, I guess, a little bit Infamous. That's about it.
Have you completed your Evil playthrough?
No, not yet.
Boring
I
now?
actually haven't popped it back in since last week.
Is it boring now, the game?
Well, because I already did the story, right? Now, the Evil playthrough is a little different, but for the most part, not really.
Fair enough.
A couple different choices and stuff. Overall, good game, though. Especially if you haven't played the old ones. Hop into this one. It's fantastic. Okay, Marty. It's time for Apps with Marty.
Apps with Marty.
Take it away.
Here we go. This week I shall be reviewing Locomotors, which you told me was editor's choice.
The week before Assault Team was, I believe.
Yeah, what is it now? Anyway, Locomotors is a really cool app because it does something in a game that I always like to do, and it is construct my own little vehicle. So
You always like to do that in games?
I always love constructing things. Basically, the idea of the game, it's like a little side scroller. You build your vehicle, you put little tires on it, you put a little how much gas you want on the vehicle, you put a little pilot on there, and an engine. And basically, you have to go through this track. You just pull on like a ripcord. You remember like the old little cars? You'd pull the ripcord, and the cars would go flying off.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of those little toys. You pull on that, how fast you want your car to go, and it goes flying on this track, crazy little track that's made. And your car and the object is collect these little gears. It's kind of got the 3-star system like Angry Birds. First you got to collect the bronze one, then you got to collect the silver one, then you collect the gold one, and then after that there's 3 separate challenges. The challenges are really hard, so you kind of get stuck on these levels, and you kind of keep constructing new vehicles to try to get these objectives done. So there's a lot of content in these levels since there's 3 gears and 3 objectives. So a bit of replayability too, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I can't get some of these right now. And you upgrade your vehicle, so I'm guessing I have to go back and get these later.
$1.99 though.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I thought it was 99 cents.
$1.99.
It was for when it launched, I think.
Jesus.
It's now $1.99. That's not expensive.
That's a steal.
That's cheap.
No, just app shop it. Wait till it goes to free.
Cool thing is you can do little upgrades on your vehicles aesthetically. I bought like a little UFO pilot, and then I got like a little wizard type of dude, or you can get things that make your vehicle look more like a time machine. There's like gears and like clocks on it. A lot of customization in that sense. There's like a little in-game currency which you rack up coins for fairly quickly, which I actually enjoyed. The game kind of does hold your hand a little bit. You're not thrown in with all the features unlocked, so as you progress through the levels, new features become available to you. And in typical video game fashion, it gives you a new feature, and then you have to use it on that new level. So I'm not done the app yet, and it's still throwing new features at me, which is pretty damn awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How many hours have you sunk into it?
I'd say like 2 today and like 2 yesterday.
That's pretty good for an app.
There's
That's not
50 free levels, and since I'm a perfectionist, I sit there trying to get everything. And it says there's more on the way, so I'm hoping
wow.
those are going to be free.
bad. Well, you did pay for the app, so probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Not all the time.
Are there like open spaces for those levels?
Yeah, there's it shows you your first base 50 set, and then it says coming soon next to it.
It could go either way. I don't know.
What do you mean? Like it's not going to come?
No, I mean it could be free or it could be
okay.
like 99 cents or something. Not too bad.
Well, if it's a paid app,
Yeah.
You think it'd be free?
probably.
Or at least some of them.
Pretty neat puzzles in this, but other than that, I'd say go out and get it. The only thing that would really scare you away is the $2
That's
price
not
point.
that much. That's crazy that we're saying $2.
Well, there's so many good free apps out there. It's hard to justify.
What do you think they could
$2.
put microtransactions in this and then make it free?
I'm pretty sure there is microtransactions. I
Oh.
lied. There isn't.
But you maybe you could buy parts or customization features or something.
Or just buy the currency.
Or the currency,
like most
yeah.
of them do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty fine the way it is. The music's kind of cool. There's like a cutesy little art style.
I'm
to it.
amazed by some in-app purchases or microtransactions.
They're kind of offensive, eh?
Well, not offensive, but I think as long as they don't get in the way, right? But some are like you can get like 100,000 coins for like $99.
Yeah.
I'm amazed if anyone purchases that. You know,
We need to interview one of those people that've done that.
gotta find them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's little kids accidentally pressing it on their parents' iPads and stuff.
that happened, eh?
Yeah, there was like some apps that just do it. They don't ask you whether you want a confirmation. or
When
not.
iOS 7.1 came out, what it fixed was that it lets you know, it gives you like a little text thing that when you type in your password to purchase something, it remembers that password for like a certain set amount of times. So if you purchase something again immediately after, you don't have to enter your password again. So that's where it went wrong. The parent bought an app for their kid, and the kid went in the app and then downloaded a bunch of the
Things.
the microtransactions,
Probably not even knowing.
not knowing, and just thought, oh, it happened, it works. I pressed this and it worked. I didn't have to type in the password or anything, and then huge bill, and then it was a terrible.
Remember that one app? There
Like a
was
Pokemon.
microtransactions everywhere.
Pokemon app, right?
Was it a Pokemon app?
I thought yeah, isn't that what? It's like that weird like Pokemon like.
Oh yeah, you walk like a couple feet, and then it like, would you like to purchase this?
Yeah.
And,
It's like $1,000.
Want to use your
Blastoise
attack
or something.
button? There's $20.
Yeah.
Anyway, Locomotors, $2 on the App Store. Highly recommended by Marty Isaacs. Apps with Marty. There we went.
I'm trying to find the microtransactions in Star Wars Assault Team. I don't even know how to get to them. I saw them once, but you think they'd make it easier to get to them? I don't even know
Man,
where
you're
they-
actually complaining about that?
No, but I want to see, because remember it was some absurd price they went up. Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, it was $99 for 500 gems.
one more thing I would like to mention about this app is I wish there was a feature where you could save a template
Of a
of your
car?
vehicle and then just have like a collection of them and like, oh, this vehicle would be good for this puzzle. But,
Okay.
But there isn't. So that was a little disappointing. Update that if you're listening. I don't know who made this app. If you're listening, update that shit. Credit me in the credits. Apps with Marty. There we went.
This comes from the developer who did Papa and Yo, the exclusive for PlayStation.
Which
and
one was that?
The one you played, remember?
With the little girl?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was cool.
Little boy, I think it was.
Was it a boy? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Same developer.
That was a cool game.
Minority, that's it.
I didn't play it, but that was cool. I played like the first 10 minutes.
I had worked for their parent company. I was right next to their
Oh,
studio.
So
so.
you practically made that game. Then.
No, no. All right, let's move on to our first story here. So yeah, Ubisoft is not going to be abandoning the last generation consoles, the Xbox 360 and PS3. Now, why would you? Obviously, right? There's 80,000 of both units, 160,000 total potential customers.
Wait, what?
What were those numbers?
PS3 sold 80,000. Xbox 360 sold 80,000.
How many?
160,000 total.
No. There's got to be way more than that, right?
Are you sure?
I thought 360 sold 80 million.
I thought it was 80
Million. Sorry,
Yeah.
not thousand. No, million. Oh,
I'm like,
I was checking the math and the numbers, not the.
yeah.
Not the. What do you call it?
I was waiting for you to make the correction there.
Million. Sorry. Yes.
Like, those are how are they in business if they only sold 80,000 units?
That'd be amazing.
It's like a Wii U.
Oh, come on.
Jesus.
See the? Did you see the April Fools?
That's one of our stories.
Oh, it is. All right.
Yeah.
I should probably read that outline then.
The one you made.
No,
Oh,
the rundown you sent me.
Oh, okay. Yes. See, I guess you guys would probably be happy about this. Ubisoft still supporting the last gen.
Oh, yeah, half of us in this room don't have next-gen console.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems weird this gen that not many people are adopting new.
There's
Well,
nothing to play.
wait. They have. The numbers have vastly outsold the same time period of the last generation.
But I find that like maybe it's just our age or something. But I remember like back when it was, I think we were ending elementary school.
Well, you also have to remember we were in a bigger community back then, like in high school.
That's true.
But you guys were ending elementary
Elementary school. The last year
Yes.
of
We
last
were
year of elementary
entering
school,
high
I got a
school.
360 for
Holy
Christmas.
fuck, I'm old.
Okay, minus Adriano. I remember like everyone was jumping on 360.
Yeah.
No one wanted PS2 or anything anymore. Everyone wanted the new stuff, and then now it's just like, oh, I have my 360, whatever.
I think people gotten older. They got jobs. We're like the few who remain. You know what I mean?
I'm
That's
just
true.
burnt out. Like there's like all this push for the consoles, and when they came out, it's like, okay, like I don't care anymore.
You're probably lucky to wait. Like they joke that the next gen consoles are just big Netflix machines, and that's really what mine is. I've watched more Netflix on there than I've played games.
Actually, yeah, I haven't played that game on my Xbox One for probably 3-4 weeks.
You could have been playing Titanfall.
Could've.
Christ, Matt.
Hey, man, right?
But do you remember the story that Ubisoft is making Assassin's Creed one for last gen and next gen?
I heard they're making 2 different ones.
Yeah, isn't that kind of weird?
One, yeah.
So if you're like a big fan, you want to know the whole story, you got to buy 2 versions now.
I'm not doing that.
Do you know what's going to happen? That the one they make for the last gen, the 360 PS3 one, they're just going to make like a year afterwards, they're going to make a release for the current gen.
Oh yeah, probably.
Calling it now. One of my predictions.
We should write them down to make sure.
Give it like 2 years in this new next gen life cycle. They're gonna abandon it.
So it says here that they are even going to support it for several more years.
Nope.
You don't think so? You don't think that's true?
Maybe that's their plan as long as it's still like a supported and popular platform.
I think I wanted to talk about this last week, but I forgot to put it into the layout. That Ubisoft said that they'd be stupid not to not release an Assassin's Creed every year.
I don't know.
Because they still sell millions of copies every year.
Yeah, I know.
There's a demand,
that's
obviously.
Fair, yeah.
So they'd be foolish to take a time off if they can keep pumping one out every year.
To be fair, there are a lot of people who like if they play it, they'll like beat it in within 2-3 weeks and then be done with it, right? So like I take a long time in my Assassin's Creed games myself, so maybe that's why I'm kind of sick of it. But
I'll keep buying them. I like them.
I like them, but I won't be buying 2 of them because I always buy the collectors.
Although I'm surprised that after 3, people still had faith in
Well,
although it's different developers.
It was the Pirates theme.
Probably, yeah.
If number 4 was just like a continuation of number 3 and it was the same time period with the same protagonist, it would have bombed.
Because the best part about 3 was the pirate ships.
Yeah. Honestly, my theory was that 3 was just like they were kind of they did it as like a big toe in the water, like they kind of just dipped their toe in the water, see kind of how people would react to it. Like, oh, the ship part was really popular. Well, we're just gonna do a full game then.
To be honest, though, I really like 3 just because that's my like. I really like that era of history.
The time period,
Same. I like all of them, but 3, like the Connor outfit was probably my favorite one because it looked like a colonial.
But the most boring character.
But I liked running around colonial Boston and
it was cool.
New York.
Okay, Square Enix is they're an enigma sometimes.
Wrapped in a box.
Yeah. So their president said he thinks that the company has lost focus, and I think a lot of people could probably agree with that statement. What do you guys think? Do you guys play a lot of Square Enix games? You just played Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Story wasn't great, but otherwise decent, right?
It was fun. It was,
Matt, you played a bit of Hitman, right? Which is actually the free game with gold.
Yeah.
I really.
Thank you for reminding me. I have to download that.
I really like it, man. I play Absolution quite a bit, actually.
I just downloaded it. And it's pretty fun.
Is it 360?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I have
pretty
it for PC. I really like it, actually.
I think the only part where Square Enix is kind of screwing up is on their JRPGs, and this is kind of what this is about because what was that? Bravely Default came out, and that was like a traditional JRPG, and people loved it. They bought a bunch of it, so I think Square Enix is going to go back to its roots, kind of.
Fair enough.
They need to restore Final Fantasy somehow, although Realm Reborn, the MMO, that's doing pretty good.
Which?
Final Fantasy 14, I think it's dubbed. Realm Reborn.
Okay.
It used to be 12 or something.
I hate Final Fantasy, to be honest.
It's so confusing, but
just download the play like an early one. Play Final Fantasy, the first. Original.
I played 10.
Play it's on iOS. You can buy it on iOS. Numbers 1 through 6.
$15.
No. They go down. Which every new one comes down, I think they go down in price.
Okay.
Just try it. They're fun.
I tried 7. I couldn't do it either.
Although seven's one of the better ones, isn't it?
So I was told. That's what. Yeah.
But what do you guys feel about JRPGs? I'm a bit. I don't know what to think of them.
I like Japanese action games. I play Laptop Chainsaw. I play.
What's that one you liked? The crazy one. We were at the battle. You got one for the Wii U. Dynasty Warriors.
I love Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Wars.
I love Dynasty and Samurai Warriors. Like, damn, it's nice. I love that shit. But I don't know, like the classic Japanese RPGs, I can't do. Katamari.
Ooh.
That's
Good,
quirky.
now that is some good shite right there.
That one's quirky.
I played that one on my Vita for weeks. It was ridiculous.
Okay, it went up in price, but the lowest it dips up and back and forth between $3.99 and $8.99.
Holy chap!
But $3.99 is the lowest.
$3.99 is not bad.
Yeah,
that's not too bad. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of JRPGs. I tried Final Fantasy 13.
You also tried Warriors Orochi at my house.
Which was that?
That's like a Dynasty Warriors / Samurai Warriors combination.
Oh, that's
yeah.
That was crazy.
Are you gonna get the Zelda like Dynasty Warriors esque game?
That's done. That's
Oh,
already
it
purchased.
looks so weird.
Oh, it's gonna be bizarre, but it's gonna be awesome.
Is that like Link's first game on Wii U too?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dust off my Wii U for that title.
No thanks.
Aren't you glad you kept that Wii U now?
A little bit.
No,
Not really.
No.
I got that Zombie U though.
Go buy some games for your Wii U.
No, there are no games.
I have
get
three of them. I
Donkey
have
Kong.
all three of them.
Go get Donkey Kong. Go
Mario-
get Wonderful 101. Actually, you might like that.
What about Mario Kart when it comes out? That looks pretty good.
that looks slick.
I don't
That
like
looks nice.
Mario Kart.
I'm officially gone to the Sonic franchise for kart racing.
Jeez.
I agree with that.
What's wrong with you?
I agree with that.
That game is
100%.
so fucking good.
Yeah, I agree with
Have
that.
you played it?
No.
It's so damn good.
It's fun. It's really good.
You were playing it on that nasty Wii U at the...
I played it at EB Games on the grossest gamepad ever because that's how good that
You
game
said it was
is.
sticky and it was...
I had to go wash my hands after.
That's disgusting.
No, but with what were we talking about? JRPGs?
Yeah.
I liked earlier versions of them, like the earlier Final Fantasies and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But as like I tried to get like I remember on the first PlayStation Final Fantasy 8, like I started that game maybe like 6 times. I never got past that first disc.
Oh, jeez.
It was just like, oh my, I'm done with this, and then I go back to it. I start over. I'm like, okay, I can't do this. It's like a 4-disc game.
So anyway, Square Enix is going to be focusing on developing more core JRPGs. So hopefully you'll see some... If you're a fan of like Final Fantasy and other JRPGs, maybe we'll see some good ones from Square Enix. Maybe get them back on top after all their crazy losses. Another thing that was really weird, Tomb Raider sold good.
No, did it sell good?
It sold good, but they spent too much money
or
on
was
marketing.
it survivable?
Wait,
Is that a pun?
Oh no, actually, it was. Let me see what the sales numbers.
No, it sold by traditional AAA standards. It sold well, but I think what the problem was that Square Enix spent too much money on marketing, and they didn't go into the black until like a year after. I think it would have been.
What the hell is traditional number? What?
Like if you meet like 3 million.
Dollars
I think
or
even
copies?
copies. Even a million copies
Dollars
is pretty good. Not they want more, but I think Tomb Raider sold like 3 million, didn't it?
Whatever it sold,
Anyway.
they said it wasn't enough.
They said it
Yeah.
wasn't enough, but it was still an extremely high number. And then also Hitman sold pretty good. I think 3.6, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me, but I think it was 3.6 million.
I think it sold pretty well.
And then it was the Final Fantasy games that didn't sell, but they blamed the Western games that they made. It was all a big mess. It was crazy.
Well, to be fair, I guess they saw so much success before with the Japanese game JRPGs and stuff they made, and then once they started kind of getting more into the Western games, that started showing some failure. Like their company, but maybe.
And another part of the story is that their president said that they focused on a global release of the game. They wanted to make the game accessible to Western and like I guess Eastern cultures and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But now they want to go back to the making a game for Japan, which still sells in the West because people love those old JRPGs, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think that's what they learned from Bravely Default. So
fair enough.
okay, here's that EA story you were talking about. So yeah, April Fools. You can't trust anything on the internet, and EA made some nasty. I guess you could call them jokes. I don't know what to call them. on Twitter about the Wii U. So I just have some of their. They were deleted pretty quickly.
Kotaku screenshotted them.
Yeah, so they've been saved. So let me just read you some of them here. Good news, we have finally fixed and optimized our netcode. Uses quantum entanglement for zero latency connections exclusively on #WiiU. So they're kind of making a joke that... Because the whole reason EA games don't really launch on Wii U is because Frostbite can't run on them too well. So that was kind of a dig at them. And then again, they said Frostbite will power Half-Life 3 coming out summer 2014 Wii U exclusive, which was hilarious. And then Frostbite now runs on the Wii U since it is the most powerful Gen 4 platform. Our renderer is now optimized for Mario and Zelda. So it's kind of mean, eh? But I guess the higher ups at EA said it was unacceptable and stupid, and they were removed pretty quickly.
This came from the Frostbite developers, didn't it?
Something like that, yeah. You guys think it was good fun, or do you think it was a bit too far?
Wait, so the Frostbite developers tweeted this?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
They probably got canned, I'm willing to guess.
No, I don't think
Probably
it's that
not.
bad.
It was all in jest. Pretty mean, though.
It's not. Are you kidding me? This guy over here rips on it constantly.
And he's mean.
But he's not a company that has partnerships with Nintendo.
Yeah, it's true. It's not my fault that they made something bad.
I don't know. I didn't.
It might be.
Yeah, it was a little insulting, but at the same time, I'm sure Nintendo doesn't care.
At this point, I don't think they care.
No.
How do you guys feel about April Fools in general?
I didn't even know it still existed.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that people are trying to make jokes, but I do like the fake things that get made. I very much enjoyed the Optimus Prime DLC trailer for Titanfall.
Oh my god!
yeah.
I searched. I had to tell myself that it was April Fool. Like I thought that was real. I'm like, they're actually doing this.
Did
I
you
like
watch
when
the video
things-
IGN made
No, I
too?
didn't.
It's hilarious.
I like when
Oh.
things like that get made.
Did you see the Dreamcast and the Gamepad 2?
No.
No, the Game Gear 2. I was freaking
Oh,
out for a couple
jeez.
minutes,
Wow.
and then nothing.
I find April Fools kind of weird. It's like we're celebrating misinformation. Just a little odd.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe like real news.
I was.
How do
really,
you sift through it? Yeah.
I was really afraid that like an April Fool's joke would have been like the Malaysian airliner would have been found or something.
That would be kind of
That would have been
bad.
really bad.
I like your theory. That's just going to show up, arrive at its destination as normal, and they're not going to know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a time delay.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
their phones will say that like the same date they went missing, and they're like, "Oh no, what happened?"
No, it'll sync up to the nearest tower and it'll just change on its own.
And they just won't remember like what happened in these like last 30 days or whatever it's been.
It was seconds for them.
Yeah.
Aliens, that's what I think. Spaceship came down, abducted them, took off.
Have you seen the shitty CNN footage of like their theories?
CNN is ridiculous. What is going on there? I don't.
You have to.
Are they still talking about it?
Yeah,
They're still talking about it, but I'll show you a clip afterwards. It's really. Fun.
You saw like the stuff on their on Jon Stewart, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking about?
yeah.
That's so
I'll show
funny.
you after, Marty.
It's so
It's
damn
so
funny.
good.
Elder Scrolls Online subscription-based model. Bethesda, I guess, is defending the subscription base because we've kind of seen a decline in MMOs having subscriptions. People don't want to dish out $15 a month for a game, right?
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's kind of weird to say give us free updates with a bunch of content. You know, I think that's a bit weird too.
I like
Wait,
the
what's weird?
I like the
that
expansions
they-
model.
Because MMO updates have like huge changes. It's not just like software updates that fix glitches. They actually add new stuff like every update. So when it's free to play, or when it's subscription based, and people say I want it to be free to play, but still expect all that new content to come in, it's kind of unrealistic.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I thought you were saying it was okay. Yeah.
No, but how do you guys feel on subscription based models? Do we still need them, or do you think MMOs can survive without them, or is it an outdated?
See, I don't know
Method.
how much money these things make when they're free to play. I don't know if people are buying these
Well, they're survivable.
microtransactions.
I mean, you know.
I kind of like I'm gonna just say the Diablo model. It's not the only one, but the Diablo model where you buy the game, you have like you play. That's it. Like you just play the game online for free. But then they have the real money. Like they don't have the real money auctioneers now, but something like that where you can just do that if you want. If they really want to make any revenue, but ultimately just play the game, they fix bugs, and then release some content, whatever. But if they, for a big content update, should just release an expansion for like $40.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. If you don't want to pay the $40, then don't, and you can keep playing.
Now, is this a full-priced game? Is this $60 plus? How much is the subscription?
Well, you get 30 days free with the purchase of the game.
Okay, 30 days free. Okay.
But then after $15 per month.
Yeah. Now, I have had people, like a couple people, or one person in my class in particular said that he prefers pay to play games because once he's playing them, he actually saves money. Because he said, like, for example, this month he'd buy Titanfall, and next month he'd buy Infamous, and that's more than $15 a month. Whereas when he plays Elder Scrolls, he'll pay for this, and then he'll only play this for like a year. Only play it.
But if it was free, then he'd save a bunch of money.
But he won't, because then he said he doesn't value it as much, and he'll go play other games.
But you're not value. Yeah, but value suggests that you actually put money into it, though.
Correct. No, but that's what he's saying. He's saying, like, so for say for example, World of Warcraft, he would value World of Warcraft more because he's paying $15 a month and it feels obligated because he's paying to play it. Whereas if he downloads it for free and plays it for free, he'll be more obligated to maybe play it occasionally, but then run off and play Titanfall and run off and play Infamous. And
that does not make any sense because you're not obligated to play it if it's free. Like he can, like he shouldn't feel guilty for walking away at any time.
I think he wants to play it, and so he pays $15, and then that makes him play it.
Yeah,
because if he wanted to play, he'll play.
A game should make.
It's weird. I don't agree with him, but I'm just trying to see it from his point of view.
That's crazy talk.
Even the expansions, though, I think the expansions is a better model that you sell an expansion like every 6 months or whatever. But the first Old Republic expansion, it was like $10 or $15 if you had no subscription.
Right.
And it came free anyway, like a couple months later. If you just hung out on free to play a couple months, you get the expansion anyway.
Oh, that's okay. I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
Huts of Now Hutta or something like that.
Something like that.
The Huts of Now Hutta.
The Hut homeworld is Now Hutta, but
oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't remember the name of expansion. Hey, whoa.
Jesus, attack all the Star Wars
fans. Fantastic.
No, if it's not in that trilogy, then no.
So you completely disregard all books and all comics.
There's only one piece of Star Wars expanded stuff that I like, and I'll take into consideration.
C-3PX.
What?
He's like C-3PO, but he's like an assassin.
Does he still have set limbs?
Yeah.
So how does he assassinate people?
He's just that good.
He's just that good.
the dark forces and the Jedi Academy, not the Jedi Academy. Anything with Kyle Katarn in it, that character.
He's pretty cool.
That's like one of the few characters I'll accept.
Bad douchebaggy, but pretty cool.
Yeah. Anything outside of him? No.
Well, why? What's wrong with the rest of it?
It's so cheese.
It's
so stupid.
Man.
But that's.
Man.
Tell you what, we'll do a separate podcast one day, just a debate.
There's so many topics we debate about, and then we say, "Oh, we're going to start another podcast,
movie podcast, TV show podcast."
We should do a movie podcast.
I would love that.
We'll just double our time here every week. We'll record 2 episodes.
I'm not hosting that.
All right, you just go upstairs and we'll.
I want to be on it. Jeez, it's my dream to be a guest on a podcast.
You were a guest. You were a guest on your own podcast.
Correct.
When? Like when you were a guest
in
that one time?
Montreal.
Yeah.
We Skyped you
I was
in.
on Skype.
Yeah.
It's a little guest.
How fancy is that? We Skyped you in.
It wasn't the same. We could probably do that now.
You were in a different time zone.
I've been thinking about how we could do that. I think it'd be easier.
What?
We would have to all have headphones. And then you basically just take the output from the iPad or computer or whatever you're Skyping on, plug it into the mixer, it goes into here, and then we have an output to headphones. And then we can all hear who's talking.
Yeah.
We can do that, yeah.
Get Aaron in here every week.
Yeah. We need to work on that. And I don't need... Do you know if we split the headphone audio 4 ways, that it will reduce the overall... do you know how to get around that?
I don't know. Physically impossible.
If you
need some amplifier or something, or booster, right?
Yeah.
Well, wait, hold the phone though. You're recording it at the level before it's split, because the split is just for us to hear it. So we'll hear it at a lesser quality, but it won't be bad. So who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a way to split it and still retain good quality.
Active splitter.
Yes.
They're powered. Yeah.
Yes. We need one of those.
There you go.
Put it on the list. Anyway, where were we?
There's a bunch of stuff on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut it down. That's it.
What were we doing last? Oh, we were talking about how awesome the Star Wars Expanded Universe was.
Yeah,
I remember. Let's move on now.
No, it's poo.
I can't believe... No. Have you read the books? Any of them?
It's true. You haven't read the book.
They're fantastic.
No, I want to read. The one that takes place between episodes 5 and 6 with Dash Rendar.
Okay.
Whatever. Shadows of the Empire?
That's one of them, yeah.
I want to read that one. Do you have that one?
I don't know. Most of my books I have are like from the past the trilogy, past the original trilogy onward, is what I have.
I've only read one book too. It's Book of Sith.
Oh,
It was not even really.
not really a
it's-
story
There's
book.
no
but
story. It's just history of the Sith.
Those are good books. That's
that was
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, this next story is the Amazon. They recently came out with the Amazon Fire TV, which is basically like a Roku, Apple TV, Google Chromecast type of set-top box for your television to make like a smart TV. But the cool thing, well, I guess the neat thing about the Amazon one is that you can play games on it. You can buy like an Amazon controller. It's like $39 for the controller, and you can actually play some Android games. I guess they would be Android games.
Yeah.
Is the controller going to be better than the
It's-
Ouya?
I think so. Well, Amazon has a lot more money than the Ouya had, so I think.
Did you work in the article about Ouya's comments on
Yes,
it?
I have that.
That's so good.
I have some comments about their comments.
They have no right to talk whatsoever. All right, we'll get there.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Do you think maybe even if Apple TV did this, do you think games could actually take off on this?
This
They probably need a little more
industry
power.
is so fucking
Diluted?
Yeah, it's
Saturated?
everywhere. Saturated. That's the word I was trying to think of. None of these are going to be as successful as something, say, like the console.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Steam box got a chance though. Maybe.
No, but there's too many of them. Like right off the bat, like they just like they needed to make it. They needed to Steam just needed to make one. Say this is their Steam box.
Yeah.
This is going to be it for 3 to 5 years. This is what you get, and it can run this, and this, or this at reduced quality.
I agree with that.
Now I'm gonna.
But you have like 12 different models, all customizable or whatever. Like it's just,
Varying and crazy prices.
yeah, it's like nope, not happening.
I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents here. I realize SteamOS is not complete, but my friend has actually installed SteamOS, and it is not very. I don't. It feels like an operating system that's not complete. But to the degree of that, it feels like it's lacking something. I realize it's in a beta and whatever, but I almost feel like it should just only exclusively boot up into big picture mode. It literally boots up to a Linux desktop, and you can run Steam like you would normally, but it can't run half the games because it's Linux. And then if you try to install things that Linux would normally be able to do, it can't do that because it's SteamOS, and SteamOS doesn't have the same things Linux does. But because it's Linux, it doesn't have the same thing as a Windows does. Like it seems like it's like we just threw all this crap out and it kind of does things, but very few of them.
Yeah, I think the only way SteamOS could work if that big picture mode was like basically its interface.
And then all this hardware, I'm worried that the software is not going to be good. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not complete, and like I'm not trying to like diss their development, but I mean right now, I don't know, because we were just trying to mount like something so my friend could watch his movies. I couldn't do it because it can't install something because Linux doesn't have that yet, or SteamOS doesn't have that. Linux has it, but it can't do it because it's a different distribution of Linux. So it's like, what the heck is going on here?
Do you think that Valve has the power or enough? I guess I don't know how to word this. Enough say in the industry to once this comes out, developers will start making games for Linux, so it works with the SteamOS.
I think I haven't looked at this personally, but my friend was saying something that they are developing something so that every now don't quote me on this, but every game from Windows will be able to play on Linux or SteamOS sort of thing.
Without any work, or like how's that?
I think he said they're going to do something to get DirectX or something very similar to work
Okay.
on it, and then devs will just make regular stuff and it'll go over. But I don't think you're going to get developers to do it unless you give them something.
I think they also need to see how many numbers, how many people own the Steam boxes, right?
100%. Yeah.
if you
for
have
sure.
10,000 people, that's not enough to create a whole nother version for.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
not even worth the port.
No, not even.
So Steam's having all this trouble. I can't imagine how Amazon's gonna fare.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
To be fair though,
Well,
they are just a set-top box.
Yeah, they're not trying to fucking shank the big companies. They're just trying to.
It says it's serious about gaming.
Yeah, they actually bought some developers, Double Helix Games, to actually work on some of their.
Well,
games for-
maybe they're just trying to test it out for this first gen, and then trying to see how well it does, and see maybe the next one they're gonna try to beef it up a little bit. Because if you go on the website, they like if you look at the comparison charts, they don't compare to the consoles. Like they have a comparison chart to the Apple TV, Google Chromecast, and
Yeah, its main
whatever
purpose.
the other one is. Or
Roku.
yeah, Roku. That's the one. Yeah. But
Funny statement from the guy at Roku. He said that the Apple TV does not make Apple money. That is not profitable, which is goofy.
Might make.
Does he have
Netflix
numbers to
money.
support that?
No, he said it's pure speculation.
Hi guys, I'm going to take a complete guess at this, but I think the Apple TV is not very good. And
he
over.
also didn't see the numbers. They made $1 billion profit off of Apple TV.
What is going on here?
That's
So-
just a ridiculous number.
what?
$1 billion?
It included like the iTunes sales through it.
Oh Jesus!
So yeah. Let me see. Yeah, so Matt, since you're our resident tech expert,
Sure.
I got some specs of the Fire TV. So it features a Qualcomm quad-core Snapdragon Crate 300 processor with Adreno 320 GPU. Can you make sense of that?
was a what?
Exactly.
I thought I heard your name in there.
Adreno 320 GPU.
What does that mean?
2 gigs of RAM. GPU is just a graphics card.
Well, no.
graphics
What
card.
is the Adreno something big? Is that something good at all?
I've heard the name. I haven't like personally looked up any benchmarks or anything from this guy though.
But the Snapdragon is like a pretty popular processor within
Oh yeah,
other
it's
smartphones.
definitely
right?
pretty popular in a bunch of tech. Like it's in most cell phones and all that crap.
Yeah. And I don't think they're serious about gaming when they put 2 gigs of RAM in it.
For Android gaming though,
That's not serious
What does
gaming.
the Ouya have?
Yeah, I have the Ouya ones here too.
was a Tegra 3 quad core processor.
1 gigabyte of LPDDR2 RAM.
DDR2. That's it.
Yes.
Jesus.
And 8 gigs onboard flash. See, again, this is Android gaming. This is literally like back in the day, flash gaming on your browser, which is still done now. But you know what I mean? It doesn't really need that power.
Yep.
So to be honest, in this case, the Amazon, what's it called, Fire TV, I think is better. Has newer hardware, but then again, we got 2s coming out.
Most initial reviews saying that it's a powerhouse for a set-top box.
It is overpowered for Android games, 100%, like 150%. Like I said, I don't have specific benchmarks, but you can tell it is a lot more modern.
Maybe they're focusing on like it's kind of like the top tier quality, like mobile games. You know, you always have those really fancy
Yeah.
looking one, like Real Racing 3 is a pretty decent looking
Stuff like
game.
that, yeah,
Played
that
the
would
shit
run
out of that
perfectly.
one.
That would
Yeah.
run really well, yeah.
So
sure.
I would like to play one of those with an actual controller, something like Real Racing, something like that. I think that'd be fun.
See, to me, I think in that case, you might as well just do something like Miracast to your TV, and then that's it.
Or just take the money that it costs to buy one of these things and buy one of those Bluetooth controllers for your iPad.
Yeah, then you're just done.
I can't remember if I asked it before. Does the PlayStation 3 controller Bluetooth to the iPad?
No,
You can do it. I've seen like videos on YouTube. I think.
you need a jailbreak.
Oh.
Okay. But you can do it. You can do it to the Mac. Remember we watched that video? You could hook up the PS3 controller to a Mac
Yeah,
or even Windows. That's
yeah.
kind of cool. Okay, let me get to the Ouya response. So yeah, since the Fire TV is kind of focusing on games, it kind of threatens the Ouya, which is that Kickstarter. Did the Ouya 2 come out?
I think it's coming out.
They're working on that one. Who knows where they got the profit from to make that?
ridiculous name. The 2 at the end of it.
Ouya 2?
Ouya 2.
Ouya U. What about that?
Oh, that's
Is
it.
that the new one? Or what?
Call the lawyers.
So this is from Ouya head Julie Ehrman. Quote from her. Just as Amazon blazed a trail for a new way of selling online, Ouya invented a new way to think about console games. But for us, games are not simply an added bonus taking a quote from what Amazon said. They are a whole point. I don't know what that means. Ouya is solely dedicated to the devs creating games and the players who play them.
They're the whole point.
Their ideal experience is all we think about.
Okay, I'm sorry to say this, but a set-top box is not meant to be just a gaming console. It's just like saying, you know what? I don't really like how the smart TV has games on it. That's it. Like that's such an unjustified statement.
That's what they're saying.
But why say it?
They're saying that the Ouya is dedicated to gaming. Well, this Amazon thing is
Added feature.
Added feature.
But this statement almost feels like as if they feel offended by the Fire
They're
box.
threatened by something they're saying is not a threat. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're like, come on, guys, and then like everyone's like, okay, thanks. Like no one said, man, the Firebox is a lot better than the Ouya.
Well, I think they're scared because Amazon definitely has more funds to actually support better games. You know.
If it has better games, then I'm glad that it's got all these other features aside from the gaming too.
Yeah, does the Ouya have Netflix or anything like that?
I don't think so. I think it's literally
It's
just
literally
games.
just a game console.
Just games.
So it's
That's the whole point.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. Good point, Marty.
I think they're taking it too seriously because, like, if you had a PlayStation 4 and it's like, yeah, I can't run Netflix or anything, you're gonna be like, well, that's kind of dumb.
When did Ouya make those comments? Was it an April Fool's joke?
No, I think the Fire TV was announced after April Fool's. I think so.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been good. Yeah.
I hope they're not allowed into E3 again. I really hope that happens.
That's me. We're so mean to these people. We haven't even tried it.
Did you say you're going to buy one for the sole purpose of breaking it?
I will purchase an Ouya.
Let's get
Okay,
when
let's
the next
play
one,
it
when the
first?
next one comes out.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Do one now, and then we even do it for the next one.
I'll
Post it. Get some people rolling.
I will beat the crap out of it. Like, take it out of the box and I'll beat the shite out of it.
Well, we're going to try it.
I don't know. Do we
Oh,
want to be,
if you want to turn it on, you guys can turn it on. I won't be doing that.
do we want to be known as the console smashers?
I'm fine with that. No, the Ouya smash.
That's it.
console.
Rebranding.
That's not a console.
Rebranding. I might buy the Fire TV just to see what it's all about. I'm not going to use it ever. I don't think.
Think Apple's ever going to
Wait,
come?
what? You're not going to buy
I want
something other than an Apple TV unit?
Well, we're going to buy that anyway when it comes out. When the new one comes out.
You don't need a Fire TV then.
You've been waiting on that new one a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I sold you mine. And
Yeah. I was kind of shocked when you did it.
in the expectations that a new one would come out.
And it didn't.
No. So sad. Well, I had two Apple TVs. That's why I sold you mine. But I still the one in the living room. That one's mine. I own that one.
Which one did you sell me then?
Mine in my bedroom.
Why did you buy-
I don't want to hear it.
Why did you buy two?
Just move on.
It's got an Apple TV.
okay,
I
so
don't.
fine.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Matt wants to know what's
I
happening.
want to know what's going on.
So the original, the second generation Apple TV was 720p. I had bought that one because that was the newest thing out at the time. Okay.
Okay.
720p is fine.
1080p one comes out. My boss at the time wanted to pay me. She didn't have the cash, and I said, I'll take an Apple TV. Signed the paper, I walked out with an Apple TV as payment.
Fair enough.
So I had two. I then sold Adriano the 720p one.
720p is fine.
Because
Yeah,
he enjoys 720p.
That's where I'm
like
at
a
as well.
caveman.
What?
Most.
Most content is just 720
Yeah.
anyway.
Anyway, okay, last story. Xbox boss Phil Spencer, who recently got promoted. I saw that story, but we don't cover too much executive stuff, so I don't know.
I don't care.
All right.
I noticed though most of the things I send every week there's a bigger Xbox section than any other company,
That's true.
and I'm trying to decide if that's a good thing or bad thing, and I'm pretty sure it's a bad thing.
Might be a bad
Because
thing.
most of the news is kind of
yeah.
I wouldn't say bad news, but it's like questionable news.
Yeah, it's like
So-
it's like wow, Microsoft's in here a lot again. It's like I don't think that's not good.
So tell me what you guys think about this. Phil Spencer, Xbox boss, he's saying that virtual reality is like kind of here to stay. He doesn't think it's just going to be like a passing fad. Do you guys agree? Did we talk about this?
I don't think we've talked about this direct. To be fair,
I think we have. I think we compared it to like motion gaming and stuff like that.
yeah. But to be fair though, it's always been like if you were like a little kid playing on your like PlayStation or whatever back in the day, you always thought like it'd be cool to have like a virtual reality of
Back
this.
in
We
the
never
day.
ever said I want a motion thing of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always in the sci-fi movies when you see somebody playing games in the future, it's always like a headset thingy.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're just a little obsessed with that.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's actually amazing how much like science fiction movies we kind of always head in that direction.
Yeah, it's cooler.
Although we're past the flip phones, like in Star Trek, that had the communicators that flipped open. That's why we have flip phones. That is the reason why. Was Star Trek, just to let you know. But I think it depends on how good the technology is, right? Of whether it will stay and affordability.
Yeah, that's a big factor.
If you buy
100%.
your $400 PlayStation or your $500 Xbox, and there's a $300 add-on, not many people are going to go for that.
That's fair. Well, if you have the install base, and then you still support both types of gaming, like they may have like types of gaming in the future. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then you should be fine.
What are you talking about? Add-ons?
Yeah, like
adding
add-on.
on something to console afterwards. Not gonna work.
Because you said this
You want it to work, it's gotta be packed in the box.
like the Kinect. You use the Kinect, right?
Oh yeah, I like
For
it.
voice, shipped with it.
If it's not in the box, it's not gonna be successful.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought it. 100%. I wouldn't have bought it. I've been like, oh, that's pretty cool, but nope.
Although PlayStation camera for the PS4,
That's selling out like a crazy.
yeah, Sony was surprised at how much that was selling, and
Okay.
it's been out of stock as long as the PS4 has been out of stock.
Okay, how many units of PS4 have they sold to date?
I think our last numbers were like 4 million.
How
something
many
like
PlayStation cameras have they sold to date?
that. Don't quote me, but I think it was like 900,000.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mainly
But-
because of the Twitch. People want to stream them on Twitch.
okay.
Isn't that the price of like a game too? Isn't it $60?
But now,
$64.99
now that's an
in Canada.
exponential growth.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say how many PS3 units have been sold?
PS3,
Yeah.
80 million
Okay. So in theory,
or 80,000, as I said.
80,000. So 80,000 units. So
Yeah.
in theory, if they get the 80 million units on the PS4, exponentially, well, how much is that for the 900,000 units?
I don't know how to do that math.
Wait, what happened? I'm sorry. I
Some
didn't hear the
ratio,
question.
right? You're looking-
Exponential math.
Yeah.
Exponential.
Exponential, yeah. Well, we'll figure it out for next week, but I don't think.
But I see what you're saying. Yeah, it wouldn't be as much. All right. And it would probably die off as,
Yeah, I
as
don't
we
think
go
the
too.
scale's going up on the camera.
Yeah. I stick with my thing. It's got to be in the box. It's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even like the headsets with the PS3,
Yeah.
they didn't ship with the headsets, so no one talked online.
Even with the separate controller, like the Wii U Pro controller.
Yes.
Like that's got. I believe there is a model now where that comes with it.
Yes, there's a bundle. There's always
There's
around.
one bundle that comes with it, but that surely been in the box from day one.
Yeah.
Pretty nice controller.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That would have made it worth. That would have made it worth it at the $350 price.
Yep, I agree with that.
All right, that's all we have for this week. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything on your mind?
Are we talking about Ninja Turtles? Yeah.
That shitty ass trailer,
Yeah.
shitty ass movie.
There is a mock-up of somebody who just made them look more like turtles, and it made the trailer so much better.
Oh yeah, I saw images of it.
Yeah, it looks so much better.
That's hilarious.
Because the turtles they have lips. They have human lips. Their faces are really narrow.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I like the Photoshop with the Shrek ears on them too. That made me laugh. But the dude they got playing Shredder as well, the guy from Drive Angry, and he was in Dark Knight.
They're redoing the voices.
Is that what's happening?
of
Oh
one
yeah,
of them.
Johnny Knoxville was cast.
Is redoing one of the voices. For
He's Leonardo, which is not right.
Redoing the voices.
That's
Johnny
what I heard.
Knoxville is Leonardo.
They had
Yeah.
I'm
they
out
had a
now.
cast doing the the voice work, and then
And the guy who played Monk is Splinter.
that kind of makes
No, don't say that makes sense. Get out of here.
Why are they recasting him?
because they don't know what they're doing.
What the hell is going on right now?
Oh, fuck that. Okay. Okay.
All right, shut it down.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's Michael Bay.
Remember Michael Bay at the CES when he walked off stage? That was so good. I feel bad for the guy. I understand how terrible that would be.
No, you know how much money that guy has? You probably just went home and slept with like 2 supermodels. I don't care.
Yeah,
Let
probably.
him be embarrassed.
No, but if that was me, that would be bad. I would feel awful.
I'd have
so,
cried.
Yeah, I don't care
He
how
gave
much.
up though. I wouldn't have gave up. I would have stayed
That
up
was
there.
that was the weirdest part.
I would have stayed up there and suffered.
And that they kind of made it feel ingenuine because he's up there to talk about how great his movies are going to look on the 4K TVs and how much these TVs are mean to him as a director and stuff. He couldn't talk about that from his own words, and it was kind of weird, you know?
That's what happens when they force you to rehearse something.
That's life now. Off a prompter.
Man. Anyway,
Go see Captain America 2.
That was good. Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, like us. This is it for this week. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and like and subscribe on YouTube, and you will never miss an episode there. We're on iTunes. Pretty proud of that.
Revine us. Is that what they do in Vine? Is revine?
You follow on Vine, right?
Oh, when you want to revine a video or something. I don't know.
Did they say revine?
I don't know. These
Kind of like retweet.
things.
The
Yeah.
revine. All right. Anyway, yeah. Share with your friends. Get us out there. Let us be known. Day one patch.
Share with your enemies, man.
Yes. Put them through the pain of listening.
There's a lot
to
of people that I hate that I send this video to.
Well, thank you, Marty. All right. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully, and hopefully new listeners.
And the week after that.
yeah, keep coming back. All right. Goodbye.
Peace.